My husband was working in the town of Moose Jaw in Saskatchewan. We often rent a short-term room or house where he's on assignment. He moves around a lot. This time we booked the attic of an old house on Main Street. The owner was renovating and renting out each level. I'm someone who loves older homes, the character, the architecture. So I was excited. But as soon as we arrived, something felt off. The house had quirks. You climbed a steep staircase at the side of the house, passed multiple floors, and finally reached our suite. You walked directly into the bedroom. A compact kitchen and bathroom tucked along the back wall. I felt a chill when I walked inside, something down my spine. I told my husband. We dismissed it as moving in jitters. The bathroom and kitchen were in small cutouts of the house. The roofs sloped so sharply I could barely stand upright. I'm 5 feet 2 inches. In the bathroom, behind the clawfoot tub, was a little door hidden in the wall. Every time I used the washroom or took a bath, I heard a faint tapping on that door. A couple of nights in, the nightmares started. I'd wake up screaming. My husband would shake me awake. It felt like I was pinned to the bed, unable to move. I had never experienced sleep paralysis like that. More than that, it felt like something didn't want me there. Like a warning. Leave now or else. I stopped sleeping at night. I sat in bed looking out the window, desperate for daylight. Then one night, I must have drifted off. The next thing I remember, I'm being dragged by my feet out of bed. I grabbed my husband's arm like my life depended on it. He woke up in a panic. Whatever pulled me stopped just in front of the steep stairs. We didn't stay even one more night at that place. I still find myself questioning if it really happened, but my husband saw it too, so I know I'm not crazy. Whatever was in that old attic rental did not want me there. I'll never stay there again. This is a real story shared by a woman who, at just 9 years old, experienced something in an old upstate New York house that still haunts her to this day. When her family moved into the house, they discovered it had once been divided into several apartments. Her bedroom, it turns out, had been someone's kitchen decades earlier. One afternoon, while exploring her walk-in closet, she peeled back the old tile floor, and underneath were newspapers from the 1920s, yellowed and brittle with age. That alone was strange enough, but what they found behind the house was worse. 2 garages sat at the back of the property. When her mother decided to clear them out, she uncovered piles of forgotten objects, rusted tools, faded clothes, and a suitcase filled with old family photographs. One picture in particular stood out. It was oval-shaped, with a black background. In the center, a little girl in a white dress, staring blankly at the camera. Her mother didn't throw it away, she kept it in that old suitcase. That's when things began to change. At night, as the girl lay awake in her bed, she started to hear tapping. Soft, deliberate, and coming from directly beneath her. She'd cry out for her mother and stepdad, but every time they checked, nothing. No one was there. It happened again and again, until she began to dread the silence that came just before the tapping started. Her closet didn't have a door, so she hung a blanket to cover the entrance. Inside that closet, she kept her art supplies, one of which was a large, thick roll of drawing paper. One night she lay awake, hearing faint sounds coming from inside. It wasn't tapping this time. It was the unmistakable sound of cutting. She froze, too scared to move, until she finally drifted into an uneasy sleep. When morning came, the entire roll of art paper was shredded. Her heart dropped. No one in the house was awake that night. No one but her. Years later, she and a friend were home alone, playing in her room when a sudden boom echoed from the attic. It was the middle of the day. Sunlight poured through the window, yet the sound was deafening. They hesitated and then decided to check. They climbed the stairs, each step creaking beneath them. But when they reached the top, nothing had fallen. Nothing had moved. To this day, she doesn't know what haunted that house. Whether it was something tied to the photo, the newspapers, or to the house itself. But one thing's certain, whatever it was, it knew she was listening.